Who's ready? Go! All right, here we go. Here we go. Next round.
This is Making the Merge.
We can very well win this thing.
I'm a dog person now.
Line them up. Let's knock them down.
If you told me your dog was sick, I'd say, I'm coming over.
I cracked open a coconut and they didn't cheer for me.
You're either in a survivor or you're not.
It's not about the $1 million. All I want to do is win $1 million hearts.
Woo, that's right, guys. We have a theme song now. My name is PD. Welcome to Making the Merge. We have a full cast today. We have Chase Bridges. We have Jonathan. We have Kristen and Brandon.
Yeah?
We have Brandon here.
No one asked. I didn't see anyone ask.
I mean, I did phrase it as a question. We have Brandon.
Yeah.
But, guys, before, we're here to talk about the contestants in the new season. But before we do that, Jonathan has breaking news. So, Jonathan, you have the floor.
Thank you. This is honestly, I feel like the best decision for Kristen at this point in the game. But we've decided to merge our teams. So we're making the merge. We've merged into one right household team because, truthfully, I felt like I made it further in the game for most of it than Kristen. And so I thought it would be a good decision for her. Wow. And so she asked me, and I said, sure, that's fine, baby. Whatever you want.
So here's the second version of that, and you guys can choose which one you want to believe.
Yeah, let's hear the true version, Kristen.
Jonathan was so depressed that he sucked so bad at drafting players.
Wait a second.
He started crying at the end of last season
Dang.
because he didn't have anyone in the finale, and he begged me. He was like, "Please, please, let me join your team."
This is. I'm gonna let people hear that and choose to ignore it. Because either way, this is a mutual thing, is what I'm trying to say. Kristen and I are mutually merging this team mostly for both of our benefits.
Because Kristen is notoriously bad at the Survivor draft.
I mean, Kristen, I'm gonna say it. She's lost 50% of the drafts she's done.
Wow.
You know, is that right? She's done.
I don't even know if that's true.
Well, 1 out of 3, so she's done 33%.
Oh, sounds like less than 50%. That's pretty rough,
66% fail rate, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
33%
Now,
win.
what is Jonathan's percentage?
I'm
pretty sure it's 0.
Here's what I'm gonna say, guys. I'm gonna blame the fact that I lost last season on Genevieve. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I didn't know how you would receive that as a group, but
no, I agree. I think Genevieve really dropped the ball.
She dropped the ball, so I see my loss as actually more of a win because I didn't want to win with Genevieve anyway, you know?
Wow.
A lot of conflicting information here. I think it's pretty straightforward. Like, Jonathan, I would call him the Cleveland Browns of the Making the Merge draft. And
I got that reference. That was good.
But he lives in the same house with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. And Patty Mahomes.
This is really timely.
She's the mother of your child.
Yeah. And that's honestly, when I put into, account the fact that she had given birth to our child, I was like, it would be only right of me to support, a family team since we're a family
that's enough of
unit.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
That's enough of Jonathan.
Well, Jonathan, his decision caused us to scramble, and we're like, we need another general manager.
Yeah.
So scramble to bramble, if you will.
Yeah, scramble to bramble. We put up the bat signal, and Bran, he was like, yeah, I'll jump in. I'll take on the responsibility of having my own Making the Merge team.
You guys are being so kind about this and making it sound like I was asked. Like
Speaking of begging,
I'm in such a place in my life where I'm just dying to talk to somebody about Survivor, and luckily you guys are around, and I just keep asking.
So it's not like we're the best Survivor pod. It's just
I
we're
think
around.
you guys would agree with that. But if Rob is listening, or any of the other ones are listening, like, I mean, I can be persuaded.
I feel like you're just looking for a trade deal. That's what's happening.
Can I tell you really quick my perspective of, you have your two perspectives, and that's nice.
Yeah.
When we began talking about doing this, I was like, well, I could just kind of chime in and like maybe me and Kristen could be on a team because I know she's sometimes with baby because Jonathan would never, and so when she's not around, I don't want to kick anybody out of the league, and it made it. I heard next thing I knew, I had my own team and you two joined up, and so. I just, what's up with that, Kristen?
Yeah, that's right. Let's turn this on, Kristen, guys, real quick. Okay.
New rivalry.
I mean, truthfully, I just felt so bad for Jonathan.
Okay, that's enough. I'm going to take her mic from
I get that. Guys. He's your husband. He was failing publicly now. Because before it was like he was just failing in front of his friends. Yes. But now he's failing in front of a lot of listeners.
Humiliation.
Yeah, I'm failing in front of Saul now. And I was like, this is, look.
You're the court jester of Saul Nation, dog.
Look, it's a situation where I just see it as an absolute win-win for both parties. And I see it as a win for Brandon because Brandon, you get to form your own path, blaze your own trail. You're a trailblazer now. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great, and my wife is the most excited out of everybody because now I don't have to talk to her about Survivor. I have someone else to talk to, and she's really thrilled. She's thrilled about this deal, and so this season, the win that I'm going to have on my first season in Making the Merge, I'm calling it right now.
Whoa.
It is. It's for my wife. This is for you. This is for you, baby Bill.
As sweet as that is, I hope you lose for your wife, okay? It's like, I'm going to win with my wife, guys. Look at Husband of the Year award goes to me as well when I take the Jody
Brand's
Newell.
really smart because he knows that when it comes to Survivor, you got to have a sob story. You got to have someone that you're playing for. You got to have someone that you're fighting for. That's how you win the season. And all of these new contestants that we're about to look into right now, they all have their own sob stories. They have their own people they're playing for. And let's all get into it.
Wow. Chase, that was a lot, but I agree. Let's do it.
Whatever.
That's how you do it as Survivor.
I'm a dog person now.
I'm a dog person now. We got a lot going on today, PD. A lot.
That's right. I had a wheel assign different contestants to each of us. So we're going to be going through what the wheel decided we were all going to talk about.
Wow. And that's why we're not on a team together, Chase, even after you asked.
That would be the most entertaining season of this show is if me and Jonathan had to share a team.
Write that down. Write it down.
I think we'd kill each other. I'd fly. I wouldn't even drive. I'd fly to Danville and murder him.
You're within driving distance, and you would take a jet.
I would pay $5.50 for a ticket.
Dang, that's crazy.
So we each got 4. Some of us got 5 players from this new cast. There's 18 of them. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
18 players. Now, we're not marrying any of these. We're not drafting any of these players. We're just giving the rundown of the players. Because I don't want any responsibility for one of the players I'm going to talk about today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I don't either, but I do stand one of them. I'm going to put that out there.
I'm going to tell you that I'm having to play like a mental game where they're not already on my team. That is an interesting thing where now I've looked into them, and there's a part of me that feels like
connected to them.
Yeah, like connected, like a Stockholm syndrome situation.
It's like when you're a videographer or a photographer at a wedding for a stranger, and by the end of the wedding, you're like, oh my God, like this is my family.
Best friends are getting married.
And then you never see them again. And you're always like, oh, I wonder what happened to my family.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a very relatable experience.
Let's see if Jonathan and Kristen want to adopt their first contestant, Star.
I looked to the left. I said, John, I do think I got one to the Bill Survivor. Do you know how many people wish they could be here right now? I'm not taking nothing for granted.
I'm drafting Star.
Yeah.
I'm drafting Star. I thought it was a joke at first. I thought it was PD going, you know what?
No. I would never impersonate Star.
So in order for us to be able to clear the, copyright of these, PD actually re-recorded them.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, guys, the first word I wrote down, words potentially that I wrote down were, uh-oh, when I first saw Star's interview. Not because right away I was getting a little concerned with the energy. I'm not sure how the tribe's going to feel, but what I wrote down is hyper energy, semi-pro basketball player, right? Now in sales, correct? And she loves talking, guys. She said it. She's like, I love talking because I'm in sales. I'm a little scared of Star, if I'm being real. If I end up with Star on my team, very wild card. But
wild card player.
She says to chase your dreams at one point, and that Jeff is going to have her on speed dial, which is a bold claim for one to make. Kristen, how do you feel about Star?
So Star has some like pretty hyper energy, I guess. But one thing that I, thought was kind of interesting about her, I watched a slightly longer interview, and just to kind of feel out what her vibe was, if it was going to be like this hyper all the time. But no, she was a little more toned down. She and her wife had a baby before she came on the show. I think in the interview she said the baby was like 1. And so it sounds to me like she just started binge watching Survivor like while her wife was on maternity leave. To have someone so new to the show experiencing watching the show, and then to apply to be on Survivor like in the midst of all that.
Yeah.
That's a really
kind of
good,
interesting.
Yeah, that's a great takeaway. And I think Jonathan will really like Star because it sounds like Star's wife had a baby, and then Star just abandoned it to go do a Survivor show. And Jonathan, that's his bread and butter.
Yeah, I'm all about, taking a quick trip to the computer while Kristen is desperately trying to get Lizzie to sleep. So it's, that's fine. But I'm really glad that we did all that study together.
But before we move on from Star, do you have a comp pick? Like, would you say Star is going to be the Andy or the Banu of this season?
I told Kristen she's going to be the Rome of
the
this
Rome.
season.
We can't label her as the Rome of this season.
You loved Rome last season, Kristen. So maybe the infighting of this team is about to begin. But I right away was like, I'm getting chaotic energy that I'm afraid of with Star.
She was giving me announcer vibes, like Rome, but I hope that she's not like Rome.
I hope that she is, and that she's on one of y'all's teams. Because Papa needs more viral TikToks in his future.
I didn't get the vibe that she was a jerk like Rome, though.
Yeah.
Okay, the jerk thing, that's a good point. Well, I think the wild card thing
she's got a little bit of unpredictability to her, I think. But she almost had, to me, more like Q energy.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, big
cancel
mistake.
Christmas.
Yeah, big mistake. But that's kind of how we feel about Star right now.
Star to me.
Yeah.
I listen, if for no other reason than that amazing intro. I like Star.
Yeah.
I like Star a lot.
Memorable.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our hometown hero.
Yes.
As a colorectal surgeon, people see me for reasons they don't want to talk about. Exams on body parts they haven't shown anybody else. Have to have that trust within a very short amount of time, and they have to know that it's a safe space. I want to help my patients, but in this game of Survivor, I want to be helpful so they can in turn help me advance in this game.
That was Cedric McFadden.
Cedric McFadden. He's my guy. I did my research on Cedric. I was very excited to be assigned Cedric because he's from Greenville, South Carolina, which is where we are from.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like the fact that he's 46 years old. And so we'll see how old he tells the rest of the tribe that he is. But I'm getting word he's 46. And he's a surgeon with the colon, so that's fun. Unlike Star, Cedric has been a Survivor fan since the beginning. Actually started watching season 1 while it was airing, while he was in med school as a de-stressor for, all the long days of med school stuff. And he's been with ever since. The fun fact they shared about him on social media is that he went to one of the live reunions, which was really a fun fact. So he's clearly a big fan of it. He says that he's going to rely on his social game, which was surprising to me because of the 5 people that I got, he is by far the most chill out of all of them. Okay. And I'm not saying that chill can't equal social, but I think he has a different type of social game, like you're talking to a doctor, you know?
But isn't that well, first of all, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if Kristen lets me, and we get a first pick, I'm taking him from y'all just out of principle, so that none of you guys in Greenville get him. But if he has that good like doctor energy where you're like, this guy I feel like I've known, he seems helpful, it could really been
He's a good doctor.
I am a surgeon, it's like I'm expecting him to say that at some point, but I feel inclined towards him as a player,
Yeah, I think that he's definitely going to be interesting. He wants to blend in, but also he does have this like leadership type quality to him. He's a surgeon. He's got people that work for him, but he also has experience like on the Today Show and our local CBS affiliate. He does like medical stuff for those shows. So he's comfortable in front of the camera. He's comfortable in front of people. He says that one of the reasons why he thinks that he could win is because of the 5-year general surgical residency, the hours that you would work, you would be working nonstop. So he's kind of used to working or being awake for a long time or running on fumes and still having to make these split-second decisions.
Oh, life effect.
Is a really good point.
Wow.
Like when you're a surgeon, you got to be ready to go whether you have 1 hour of sleep or 8 hours of sleep or no rice or some rice or whatever. So I imagine that's going to come in to play for him. So I like him overall. But the one thing that I found interesting more than anything was his approach to idols. He says he thinks he's going to approach them cautious yet open-minded. He plans to use them strategically, focusing on staying in the game day to day rather than hoarding them. So it makes it seem like if he is to come across an idol or advantage, he's going to try to use it as soon as possible.
Yeah, burn and turn or burn and churn.
And the one kind of takeaway that I got from all 5 of these people is they were getting ready to start this, and the last full season that they were able to watch was 46, where so many people held on to their idols and it burned them. So I think we're going to see a lot of that in this season if Cedric has anything to do with it. So that's Cedric McFadden.
Dang,
Excellent.
dude.
Wow.
Great work on Cedric. My thought whenever I hear someone like a surgeon or someone playing is like, do they need the money?
Yeah.
Sure. And the one piece of info for him that I didn't get is whether or not he's going to lie about what he does.
His
so,
job.
I have an attorney later on, and he talks about how he's going to lie, but Cedric didn't get it. So
Cedric's going to be like, yeah, I'm a nurse.
Dang.
I'm going to root for him just because he's from Greenville.
Yeah.
Like, he could be the biggest villain in the world, and I'd still be like, Cedric, my boy.
Yeah.
Just because of the location.
Here's what I'll say about Cedric. I think we're all going to be fighting for him for our teams.
Yeah,
and I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Even Jonathan and Kristen are going to be fighting for him.
We'll let the wheel decide.
If I end up drafting him and he does me dirty, I will find his house.
It can't be that far from us.
It can't be.
Just look for a nice neighborhood,
off Augusta Road. Probably. Wow. We'll find him.
He lives in Thornblade.
Oh, yeah, guys. Real
That's
talk.
Some local humor for you.
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
That's
totally
gonna crush
get that.
with the
That's
Greenville
so
audience,
good.
man. They're going to love that. Paris Mountain, one of those big boys up there.
We just start naming local places.
Yeah, guys, what about downtown Greenville? Am I right?
Whoa!
Yeah, downtown.
Stupid, Jonathan.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
stupid.
All right. Walk by a
you're getting
waterfall
it.
or something. Yeah, Brandon's taking to this podcast really well.
Yeah.
I'm a fan first, guys. I'm a fan first.
Oh man,
I feel like I'm gonna constantly get. Like, look, the bigger this podcast gets, I'm like, are the fans going to start just being mean to me? Which is like a dream. I think that would be hilarious. So, just keep it up,
it's going to be crazy when people start being mean to you.
Yeah, wait a second. Okay, y'all being mean to me
Chase,
now?
you're up next. Yes.
Yeah.
Who do you have?
Cue me up.
Okay.
I started watching Survivor when I started skipping ministry school to watch Survivor at home. And watching this show, like, I wish I could do that, but I could never. This is making up for lost time of all the experiences I've held myself back from. I am going all out on this.
That was Charity Nelms.
Wow.
Chase, tell us about Charity.
Charity is one of the more interesting players that I had on my list to research. I think she's kind of like perfect for the kind of community that Jonathan and PD grew up in.
Yeah.
The
ministry school
the
skippers?
Christian space,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And even me, I went to a Christian college where I was very much skipping class to watch Survivor.
Wow.
So Charity is a flight attendant, and she chose to be a flight attendant after she went to a ministry college. She went to a Christian college. She decided that life just wasn't for her. After she graduated, she worked at a mega church in the South.
Dang.
So, samesies.
Yeah, that'll do
And
Does she get into specifics about that?
she doesn't. But
you looked it up?
I looked
Joel Osteen?
into it. No, but that's what my first thought was too.
That's a good guess.
There's some speculation online, but nothing for certain.
Okay.
But I'm assuming she'll probably reveal it during the season on Twitter at some point.
Hey, I'm like, guys, give me one day and I'll find it.
She would skip ministry school to watch Survivor, and that was a big red flag for me for drafting her because God is not going to be on her side out there.
No. There is no being blessed and highly favored on her team. If you draft her, it's over.
God sent her through casting to punish her ultimately. I think.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She's going to leave by injuries, what I think.
Banu is going to have God smite her.
That's what I was saying. It's going to be something like that happening. I can feel it.
So she's probably going to lose to fire because that's also
the elements.
She's going to lose.
So she has a very interesting story of she decided that she has spent her whole life in this very small community. She didn't get to experience a lot of things outside of church. She quit her job at the megachurch and a few days later became a flight attendant, and now she's traveling the world. She's getting all of these life experiences.
Wait, hold on, is it that easy?
Yeah.
To become a flight attendant?
Yeah, wait a second.
It's pretty easy. Now,
for real?
I don't know.
Man, I always thought that was like a harder gig to get.
Here's the secret. She worked for Kenneth Copeland's station, and he has planes like crazy. So the experience was there.
So that's kind of her story, which is an interesting story. She does kind of have a kind of overcoming part of her story too, where she has had 100-pound weight loss journey.
Yeah.
So that would make me assume that she's probably in the gym a lot still, because she said that she's managed to keep that weight off. She's probably going to be a pretty solid physical player in the challenges because, she obviously spends a lot of time in the gym. But a lot of people online, after seeing her video on the Survivor page, after reading her article, they think that she's going to be like the villain queen of the season.
Interesting.
A lot of people pegging her to be the winner of the season as well.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did you get that vibe?
So the kind of vibe I got was, she's definitely confident. She's definitely going to be some sort of threat. She said that one of her weaknesses is that she has a hard time controlling her face when she just looks really rude at people. She calls it the flight attendant face.
I feel like most flight attendants are super charming people, right?
She must work for Spirit or something.
Virgin Airlines, that's it. Yeah.
But the kind of vibe I got from her is you know what? This could be a girl boss situation where she could go really far.
Whoa.
But I do think that maybe her personality will get in the way, especially if she's up against some of the other people I looked into who, spoiler alert, are some of the kindest people I've ever seen.
That doesn't work on Survivor. Well, I guess it does work if you're Kinsey, but most of the time it doesn't work that great.
True.
Wow. All right. That's interesting.
Dang.
Yeah. PD, are we going on?
Yep. Let's go to my contestant.
My parents have always said, Mary, if you could have a little bit more fear, we would feel a lot better as parents. I'm fearless. I'm bold. I'm someone who really just doesn't care what people think about me. I do my own thing.
All right, that was Mary Zhang.
She'll be the day one elimination.
Oh, no, dude, Mary is awesome. I can't wait to see her play. Out of my contestants, there's one that I stan, and I'll reveal that now. That's Mary.
Okay.
I'm a Mary stan, just based off what I found.
But here's the problem: it's the music that they put behind her. That always makes me concerned. You start paying attention to that soundtrack, and they're like, dunk, 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 behind a contestant. You're like, oh, so they're not winning.
Like the first half Andy music, I think is what you would call that.
Yeah.
But Mary Zhang, all right, let's talk about her. First thing I did was go to her Twitter, and that's really all I needed. That's all I need. I found some other stuff, but I learned a lot from Mary's Twitter. Yeah.
X marked the spot.
Okay, so I saw maryzhang.printify.me.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
And so I had to click on maryzhang.printify.me, and I found a mug with her face on it that says 48, but the 8 is spelled ATE.
Oh.
So we've got a merch queen. That's not the only piece of Mary merch that's out there, though. You can get a Mother Mary's Missionaries mug.
Oh, no.
With like 4 Mary faces on it.
Wow.
Merch before the season premiere.
Before the season and cameo before the season.
Oh. Let's get one. Let's buy one.
All right. Hey, I know
Maybe
you
y'all
guys
shouldn't
are.
sleep on that merch, though. I mean, you never know.
It's good merch. Also, the cameo is $10. So,
yeah, let's jump on that right now.
Look, let's get into her tweets now.
Yes,
this
please.
is where Mary's going to win you guys over. Because, a lot of people would be like, I'm going to be on reality TV on a major network. Maybe I should scrub some stuff. Not Mary.
No.
This is why I love Mary. So, the first Mary tweet. There's a special place in hell for all the Frontier employees who force you to repeatedly smash your backpack into that tiny-ass carry-on, John.
Wow.
Dude, wait until she finds out that Charity.
That's what I was going to say. Like flight attendant.
What if
Charity
Charity
was the
works
flight
for
attendant?
Frontier?
Whoa.
That'd be nuts.
That would be incredible.
That would be wild.
Okay, and the second tweet. And, okay, for the purposes of investigative journalism, I feel like I need to read this. You know what? I'm going to make Chase read this next tweet from Mary. Take it away, Chase.
You ever been so single you don't even have someone to think of when you yerkin?
Oh.
Dang, Mary. You know what?
Wow.
I like Mary.
See, I told you, dude.
I gotta be honest. This mug is glorious.
Yeah,
I need a.
It's her face, like 5 different times, and then a tiny face on her forehead.
I told you,
which
man.
is really funny. She's funny.
I like this T-shirt she made that says "Think of me when you're yerkin."
Look, I think I'm already a Mother Mary's missionary.
I think I am too, dude.
Yeah, wow.
I'm in that group, but there's another thing to bring up that was important. She loves Lana Del Rey and kind of hates Taylor Swift.
Wow.
I'm in the same boat.
Dude.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Wow.
I'm not sure how Kristen's going to feel about this. Kristen, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I'm confused because I thought that PD was a Taylor Swift fan, but I guess it's just Ariana Grande, so my bad.
Well, no, I do love Taylor. I just think she's starting to fall off a little bit. That's
I think she's having a spiral moment right
Honey,
now.
I think she fell off when she stopped making country. Am I
thought-
right, Rand? Am I right?
Giddy up.
It's a love story, but I don't know how I feel about it because I feel like most Lana fans are also Tay-Tay fans, if you know.
But that's only because all the Taylor fans became Lana fans because Taylor was friends with Lana.
Yeah, because of Snow on the Beach
And she
happened.
dragged her
on
on
too.
stage for the Grammys when Lana didn't want to be there.
Oh,
Guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this.
yeah.
I'm really
All right,
interested more in Brandon's stance, but we'll talk after, okay?
Yeah. Guys, this is where it takes a turn.
Oh, no.
Okay, so on a more serious
We,
note,
we, we didn't already take a turn?
I guess we took a lot of turns in this
Okay.
Mary segment, but so this is all from the Mike Bloom interview, and those are really good interviews. I'd encourage you to check those out. They're all like 20-something minutes each. She did volunteer work with a crisis hotline where 25% of the calls were suicide.
Wow.
Wow.
She said that everyone tells her secrets, and she's like, well, how do I do that professionally? And she became a therapist.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay.
And here's the most wild thing. This made my jaw drop earlier when I heard it. Her parents were involved in organizing Tiananmen Square.
What is that?
Whoa.
What is that? All right, TikTok.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know if we want to get into Tiananmen Square.
I'll look it up. Don't make me feel dumb for not knowing what that is.
No.
Oh,
still
okay.
wanna-
So it was a. Okay. How was I supposed to know this? Why, Brandon? Did you know about this?
You just tell me afterwards, buddy. Don't make me look bad.
Brandon's really bluffing right now.
Hey, everybody, be honest with me. Did everyone know what that was?
It's a pretty major historical event.
Kristen, did you know what that was?
No, I didn't. I don't know what that is. I'm back.
Thank you.
Which is why she and I are on a team, and Chase is alone in this.
Yeah.
See, technically, Kristen did know because we're sharing knowledge now.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to title this Chase Learns About Tiananmen Square. But so her mom was arrested for 9 months after, and her dad was on the most wanted list.
Wow.
And her mom and dad were able to reunite and were smuggled on a boat from Hong Kong to the U.S. where they received political asylum.
That's sick. But I mean, whose dad hasn't been on a most wanted list?
Yeah.
So, that's Mary's parents. I'm going to do the TikTok version now. Mary does not have parents.
Huh?
This is the version for TikTok.
So we can post a clip.
Mary's
Yeah,
parents don't exist.
Yes.
She is just like Kyle. This bit is over Chase's head because he doesn't know about the incident. But
Chase, are you okay, dude? What's happening to you right now?
I just don't know about it.
Look, okay, I'm going to connect the dots for you here. With her parents being what we would call fugitives if they were alive, and let's say we posted this clip on TikTok, which may or may not be, feeding some information.
Okay. I think her being on national television talking about this every week, it'll raise some
But
flags.
we know they're not watching CBS, bro. We know that.
The C in CBS is Chinese.
Chinese broadcasting?
All right, whatever. Let's move on. This pisses me off.
No, let's do this longer. I've enjoyed myself so much in this moment.
PD, do you have anything else on Mary?
I don't, but I think I just ruined the rest of the podcast because Chase is going to be upset with me. He's going to be crashing out like the Saul episode.
Remember Rome was so mean to Saul?
Yeah.
I can't believe you compared Star to Rome. That's the meanest thing you can say about somebody.
If you're saying that I did that, it's actually Kristen and I both.
Hey, if you guys are sharing knowledge, then you're sharing takes.
That's right. Ooh,
that's what I'm
good.
saying.
Write that down.
I really
don't know what it's
agree
for.
to that.
She does agree to it, actually. It's what she was actually meaning to say.
All right.
I guess I'm going to have to be the official spokesperson for our team because I have no part. I want no part of whatever Jonathan's opinion is.
She actually just told me off mic that she wants a part of every opinion that I have. So, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun agreeing with each other for an entire season. So
That's cute. That's cute.
Yeah.
Well, it's your turn. Here's the next clip.
I was like, I gotta prove you wrong then. I went on to get an Associated Press award. That teacher can eat. People told me I would never leave Philadelphia. Not only did I end up in California, but I worked for one of the biggest media companies out here. My mom told me I shouldn't do Survivor. And look at me. Look at me now. Hi, Mom.
Dang.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
All right. So we have Sai. Hopefully I'm saying that right. We'll find out. But she is 30 years old, a marketing professional. She defines herself as a strong and independent woman. And she will not be told what to do. But, she actually, I thought this was interesting. She worked for NBC as a marketing professional, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So she's now crossed over to the other side, going to CBS. But
The N in NBC stands for not Chinese.
yes, but she, in an interview, said that the reason she is playing Survivor is that she's in it for the title. She wants to be part of this elite group of winners.
I kind of wrote down that she holds grudges. That was one thing that she said. She was like, I hold grudges. I don't forget. And I'm like, that has proven to be an interesting way to play the game, because a lot of times you end up having to make friends with your enemies at least once, And if you're going to hold your grudges and make that like your thing to say, it's kind of I don't know, but yeah, so might have trouble holding back and being told what to do, and hi, Mom. That's what I wrote down in my part of it too.
You remember when Kyle wrote down Sue's name?
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Never forgot it.
Yeah.
That's a grudge. And she made it to the final three, so
That's true.
She
hold
her
a
and her
grudge,
young
but
self.
never act on it. That's the key. Never talk about it out loud unless it's straight to camera.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
Just say you want to kill them.
Yeah, here's my thing, guys. I do want to say this because I feel like we've not addressed this, but people say a lot of garbage about each other in this game as if the show is not going to suddenly air.
Yeah.
That's what I find so amusing is like someone will be like, I hate Kyle and I wish he was dead. And you're like, hey, that's going to be like, that's immortalized forever. And Kyle's going to see it. It's just an interesting thing. So grudges, I don't know, guys. Yeah, that's what I got outside.
I do think there's a period of time on the island, and I think it happens sooner than you might think, where you just kind of forget that anyone's going to see it. And you're just like, this is it. This is my life, and I'm just going to say it. And then
like a little delusion.
Yeah, for sure. or Sue's just crazy.
That tsunami, baby.
Yeah,
you probably need to pick up the pace, though.
Oh, okay. Well, bye. Yeah. The next contestant. Roll film, guys.
I have to look somewhat hot. I'm not gonna look ugly, so I'm gonna mix some coconut shavings and then some seawater, make a little paste, and then do my hair every morning. I'm sure they're gonna think I'm stupid, but it's okay. I wanna look as ditzy and clueless as possible because that's what's gonna help me go through far in this game.
That's Kevin.
Yep.
That's
Nice.
Kevin.
There he is.
Kevin Leung, I believe is how you say his last name. He's 34. He's a financial manager who lives in California. Kevin's interesting. Here's a little backstory for Kevin. Kevin, both of his parents are immigrants from Hong Kong, and they had a strict TV policy for him when he was a kid. And he was introduced to Survivor early on in his life when he went downstairs to turn off the TV because his dad fell asleep watching it, and Survivor was on.
Wow.
And so he was so drawn to the program, he wanted to keep watching it, so he turned the volume down so it wouldn't wake his dad up. And he watched Survivor on mute.
Whoa.
Week after week.
Oh, wow.
And that's how he learned the game. And it wasn't until he, like a few years later when he finally started watching it and being like, oh, yeah. But, you know, you watch it and you're like, there's people, and then one of them leaves.
Well, I think you got the gist.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
I
You can
read the
guess.
vote.
They played a
Yeah.
game, and they wrote this person's name down, and they're gone now.
I mean, it's kind of the whole thing.
That is the
actually.
whole
That's it.
thing.
You
Yeah.
just don't get to hear the
That's the
dope
game.
theme song.
Yeah.
Kevin is super charismatic. He's also quite buff. He got very into fitness not too long ago. His social media handle, I don't remember what it is. It's like Kevin33 Fitness or something like that.
okay.
So he's one of those guys, but he's like sneaky buff. Like you don't look at him and be like, "Oh my gosh, look at that guy."
Yeah.
But he's sneaky buff, and he talks about that a little bit. How there's other guys on this season that you look at and you're like, "That's the strong guy," and he's kind of more in the middle. He's sneaky buff, and he thinks it's going to kind of help him. You already heard what he said about his looks, but he's into it. he's got a whole hair plan for the island. You may be wondering, Kevin, are you into the outdoors? No, he is not. He is not into the outdoors. But he does have grit. He keeps saying that he has grit. I'm not like totally sure he knows what that means, but he keeps saying it. He thinks that his social game is going to take him far and that he's going to do fine on the challenges and that everybody else will kind of help him along the way with the survival stuff. But interestingly enough, he, in 2023, participated in a show, I Survived Bear Grylls on TBS.
Oh, no way.
Whoa.
So
Wow.
I guess he's kind of done a little of this before, and so that's fun. One of the things he talks about with kind of the strategy, the social side of it, not really being comfortable in the outdoors, he says, you build, like, this is what he'll say to somebody. You build a shelter, I'll look for an idol, and I'll share it with you. So that's kind of his plan moving forward. And last but not least, he is very, very proud of the fact that when he was younger, he was really good at tennis despite being very short. And he thinks that grit helped him be good. So
you know when
that's
someone
Kevin.
says something about themselves so many times that you're like, I think this is the thing that they really want to have.
Yeah.
You know? Like I'm really gritty, guys. Like I promise I'm gritty. I've got grit.
I
know what grit
really like Kevin, and I think Kevin's a real fun guy.
Sounds like it.
I don't know if he has grit. We'll find out. We'll find out. But it does sound like one of those things, like it's an affirmation. And he just says it every day, every hour, every minute. I've got grit.
We're going to watch episode 1, and this dude's going to be the gritless dude we've ever seen.
Well, I mean, in that clip, what was his main concern? Not looking ugly,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yes.
sound very gritty.
Yeah.
Grit,
So
right.
he's interesting. Someone to watch. I'm intrigued by him, but I don't know if it's in a good way or not. So we'll find out. We'll find out. But that's Kevin.
All right.
Next.
I don't want to be the leader. In my job, I'm the leader now, and I want to be the workhorse because that's what I've been my whole life. I grew up very poor, on welfare, a single mom, so I know what it takes to work hard to get what you want. I think that's going to help me a lot here.
That is Chrissy Sarnowski.
Sarnowski.
She is like the head of a fire department.
Whoa!
Or at least she was. I don't know if she still is. She might be retired. She is in her 50s. What you just heard in that little clip, she talks about being a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about how she doesn't want to be the leader, even though in her real life she is a leadership position. So that at least shows that she's smart enough to understand that the person who's like takes charge at first always gets in trouble. Yeah. However, I think she's going to fall into that classic category. If she goes on the island and she's like, I don't want to be the leader. Day one, she's leading.
That's like nobody
They fall into it.
Nobody says they want to be the leader. Somebody always is the leader. They can't help themselves.
If they got that like take charge attitude, it's really hard to suppress it and bury it down, you know?
Yeah. The general consensus about her, like from fans online, is that she's going to be a strong player who gets taken out towards the end because no one wants to sit beside her in the final three. Mm-hmm. She's going to play that kind of like mom role, like a Sue or some of those other classic.
Will she reveal her age, though? That's the ultimate question.
She strikes me as the kind of person that would be very transparent and honest. I think personally, and I could be wrong, I think she's going to be the lady on whatever tribe she's on that just immediately becomes such good friends with everyone on the tribe that they just take her along. But they never usually make it all the way because people get scared that they're going to get all the jury votes.
You said she was a fire chief?
Yeah, she was I don't know if she was the chief.
You think she can make fire? We know she can put it out.
So she mentions that as well. She literally says that verbatim. She goes, I'm good at putting out fires, not good at making them.
Okay.
Wow.
So
we need more arsons on Survivor is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, we haven't had a good one of those.
We haven't had a good arson on there, yeah.
But yeah, that's Chrissy.
I like her.
Yeah.
I like her. That's interesting. All right, next.
I don't want to brag, but I make the best pizza. We've made the best pizza all our lives. I've never really had a gym membership. Luigi's kind of in my gym, carrying 50-pound bags of flour on my shoulders, and I'm doing those deliveries, 40 or 50 pizzas at a time, and that's kind of been my strength training. So I want to see how that translates out here.
That's right. Justin doesn't need a gym.
Yeah.
Because he makes those 20 pepperoni pizzas for you, and he's doing squats with them. And then he's bench pressing them. And he's doing all kinds of stuff to be in shape for Survivor.
Man.
But here's some important stuff about Justin. He went to Yale.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So we got a smarty pants.
We do. And why is he working at a pizza place? Why does he own a pizza place now? If he graduated from Yale, you might ask. Well, his mom got leukemia. Like as soon as COVID happened, his mom got leukemia after he graduated. So he had to go and help out the family business, and now he runs it. And now he has a pizza gym.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Yeah, I thought I heard that on the tail end, yeah.
So he's a genius, but he's putting all of his genius into the pizza.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I bet that pizza's delicious.
I bet it is.
Look, I'm a big fan of pizza parlor personality. I don't know how else to say it, but
PPP.
some triple P, guys, that's what I'm talking about. There's something about like a hard working pizza restaurant guy that I'm like, I can vibe with this,
Yeah. I like how he was like, I just lift bags of flour. That was like PETA's whole thing in the Hunger Games.
Oh, yeah.
He's so strong because he lifts those bags of flour at the bakery.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. And I unearthed a tweet from Justin that I thought was pretty...
Are you going to ruin Justin?
No, it's not cancelable.
Okay. He's from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It can go either way.
Yeah.
No, it's not cancelable. I just found it very fascinating. So this was the Grammys last year that he tweeted this.
There we go.
And I'm assuming he tweeted this like during Taylor's award for Midnights.
Is Lana Del Rey mentioned?
Lana Del Rey does not come up, so we don't have to do any more Lana and Taylor talk for this segment. But Justin said, I was a hashtag Swiftie before it was in style! ! Congrats at Taylor Swift. Now, that alone, not very interesting. But here's what makes it worthy to be brought up on Making the Merge. He took a picture of himself holding the Taylor Swift holiday collection. So he was saying, I was a Swiftie before it was in style. Look at me. I'm holding this Christmas EP from 2007.
That EP freaking sucks.
Yeah, it's not very good.
EP sucks. Can I
I forget about
rant
it.
a little bit about this EP?
Please.
It is so clearly the worst thing she's ever done. But every year, let's put on Taylor Swift's Silent Night every 3 songs. It sucks.
Wow, take it up with Justin.
I've just said, no, Taylor, just re-record it. You can do better. It's
Taylor's
very
version.
bad.
She's kind of on that mission still.
I know.
She has a chance to make it better.
Taylor, please.
Dang. And that's
Please.
Mr. Christmas, so
I
he
know.
knows what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
Mr.
really-
Christmas hates it.
It really makes me mad.
But here's my question. Does Charlie own that EP on CD?
I'm sure he
does. He? I don't know. He might have competition for the #1 Taylor
Swiftie.
Swift fan
That's
on Survivor. Yeah, the #1 Swiftie. We need to get Survivor Swiftie from TikTok in the comments to let us know to break this down for us.
Wait, are you sure you want the TikTok Swifties to come and try to help us?
Well, there's one specifically.
There's so much power there in what we just summoned.
There's a person named.
Oh, that's right.
Survivor
That's
Swiftie.
right. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah.
All right, so the holiday EP, that was the last thing I had on Justin. So let's move on to Jonathan and Kristen's next contestant.
I was diagnosed with autism when I was just about a year old. The first doctors were telling my parents that I would never live independently, I'd never hold a job. My parents, they didn't give up on me, and now I'm getting my PhD in engineering, and I was the first and only girl to play on the men's hockey team at Georgia Tech, and I'm the captain of the men's club team at Brown.
Whoa, dude. You
Is
think when
Eva-
she's playing hockey that dudes are just punching her in the face?
Yeah, I mean,
Let's just punching him back.
Well, because I did watch, in fact, the extended interview, like a good host would. The answer to that apparently is yes.
Yeah.
They target her.
I'm a huge fan.
They target this girl. They target our autistic queen, or as my counseling wife would tell me, in first person language, she's a queen with autism.
That's
you know?
right.
Whoa.
So it's
Good job, Jonathan.
Look,
There you go,
look,
Jonathan.
I am here to be of service and to just say, Eva seems pretty cool. She really does.
She does seem cool.
So here's the things that I wrote down. She won a Survivor drinking game. That was like what she led with. She was like, I won a Survivor drinking game. And now she is getting an engineering PhD. Now, guys, what do you think Eva is what do you think that she's studying with that?
It's weird. It's really I looked into that.
Well,
What is it?
It's basically having to do with the whiskers on seals. And how
I read
you
this
can
too.
use them in military purposes for detecting things in the water. So it's
Yeah,
pretty
Navy
sick.
SEAls, dude. Yeah, I've heard of
Yeah.
that.
It was pretty awesome that she was doing that. And so she did say
I heard those SEAls killed Bin Laden.
Yeah,
They used their whiskers.
yeah. I hear it's 6 of them. You know, they're using. But it's the thing that she's worried about, and I've got to say, I'm worried for our queen with autism. She's worried about those social cues, guys, because they can get real tricky. They get really tricky out there.
How did you feel like she did with the extended interview?
I felt like, truthfully, it was a bit much. Now,
really?
Yes. Now, this is why I got a little concerned.
Like oversharing?
It was a lot of oversharing, but there was something there that I thought could prove aggravating to the other contestants if she is just so in their face, you know.
Right.
And there was a lot of talk of how she's just one of the guys. I'm just one of the guys. The guys accept me. I'm one of them.
Yeah, we've got lots of grit, me and the guys.
Yeah, me and the guys, we got lots and lots of grit. And so there was a little bit of concern there, but I think she's got the brains and she's definitely got the brawn to approach Survivor, but it's just going to be that social game. It's going to be a little tricky for her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good assessment.
The overshare
Good
is
assessment.
worrisome to me.
Yeah.
The overshare is worrisome.
Just to break it down a little bit, she gets in fights with men on ice.
Yeah.
She has a PhD. She's trying to make seal whisker technology.
Yeah.
Incredible.
For the military. She's kind of awesome.
She's going to be a great person to have on the show.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
I hope she's on there for a long time. And not only that, but I'm like, she sounds like all around someone who's going to go very far in life. So,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
She sounds
very,
awesome.
very cool.
All right, moving on.
The night before we flew out to Fiji, I was pitching multiple $100 million projects. Get to do pretty cool, impactful, big stuff. In so many parts of my life, I control how things go. I have to really get comfortable with not being in charge, even though I love being in charge.
Have you heard that before? That she
Multiple red flags for me just in that.
Yikes.
lower the red
Lots and
flags.
lots.
First of all, the $1 million thing. I feel like is she like legitimate Liz? Like, you know, Liz was lying about all of her money, but is she like the Liz who actually has the money?
Was Liz really lying?
Yes, she was lying.
Yeah. You think she made millions off newsletters?
Bro, I had no idea what she was talking about.
Yeah, you think she makes millions is that wild about Applebee's?
I don't need the money.
know.
Stephanie, she's 38. She is a tech product lead I don't know what that means, but she's pitching $1 million companies right before she gets on a plane.
Yeah.
She's a relatively new Survivor fan. She didn't start watching until the pandemic, and so she's newer, but she's into it. She loves it. She is a hotshot deal maker, and she wants everybody to know that she's a hotshot deal maker. Interestingly enough, she was a middle school English teacher from 2009 until 2016.
Dang,
until she
that's a
started
run.
working at Amazon in product management, and then moving her way up to a senior manager role. Her fun fact is about her breaking her finger playing tetherball by herself. Now, I bring this up only to bring up the fact that I think that she's a relatively clumsy person.
Yeah.
And just kind of like, so I'm trying to remember, one of the other contestants that I have coming up talked about one of the people that they had already met and kind of that they think is going to be fun to mess around with all they said was a really tall woman with blonde hair, and that summed Stephanie up. But they were like, we were in the buffet line and we couldn't figure out how to get out of each other's way, and so we just kept doing this number for a long time.
Oh, boy.
And like, Stephanie's just, I don't know, she's kind of seems a little bit awkward, maybe a little bit clumsy, but she's also one of those people that's like a big deal. She's a big deal, and she wants you to know that she's a big deal. So.
Obviously very smart.
Yes, she's very smart.
I'm more confused. What happened as an elementary teacher to make you think, I can't work at this school anymore? I'm going to go work for Amazon.
Money.
Notorious.
Yeah, it's probably the money.
Yeah.
We're going to go with the money.
Go get the bag.
She admits that she's not very strong. She worries that it's going to hurt her in the challenges. She is, again, going back to the whole leadership thing, she says, quote, I'm going to literally have to sit on my hands and hold back and allow other people to be in charge.
Big.
She's got, like, I don't think she's going to be able to control herself.
No, I don't think
I don't think she is. If she ever comes across a beware advantage, she is not going to take it.
Interesting.
Do it that way you will.
Smart move, in my opinion.
And she has the data to back it up. She says, quote, I had a good friend of mine who helped me put together a lot of analytics. We did a lot of Survivor sabermetrics. And we looked at a bunch of different questions and got a bunch of different data to help. Maybe my medium take is that Shot in the Dark actually has a slightly higher good guy percentage to me, and Idols have a slightly worse good guy percentage to me.
What is that? Yeah. What, the bad guys lose more? What?
It has something to do with sabermetrics, and I was hoping someone knew.
I didn't even know what that Chinese thing was.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Good guy, bad guy. I don't know. But my guess is that Shot in the Darks have a higher percentage in helping, and Idols have a slightly worse percentage.
Hey guys, if it helps in the context of this sabermetrics, it's generally considered a good guy kind of approach. It represents data-driven approach to evaluating players and people making decisions, often leading to a more informed and statistically sound team. So it's like a sweeping statement for that.
Well, that all worked so well for Andy.
Yeah. And for me last season, remember, I was running numbers too, and it did
Those
not
cybermetrics.
Yeah.
But the final quote, I think, sums it up. Advantages are a disadvantage, and I'm not interested in them.
Tell that to Rachel.
I know. That's the interesting thing. She wasn't able to plug that season into the sabermetrics, and I think that would mess it up.
Off the data, dude.
It's going to be more of a bad guy number. Yeah.
One thing.
You're a good guy, Brent.
One thing that I saw about her in the research, I thought it was really funny that they were like, "Hey, what's your favorite Survivor season?" And she goes, "The Race Wars one." It was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought that was so funny because people hate that season.
Oh my gosh!
I agree with it though. It is a great season.
I'm excited to get there. Oh my gosh! Well, that's Stephanie. That's Stephanie. Are you ready, Chase?
I am.
All right.
Growing up stuttering was incredibly challenging. Kids were pretty mean because I knew I would probably stutter, and not knowing how someone would react to that. So it really forced me to be resilient. So now I get to work as PE coach. I get to do a job that I love and also have a positive impact. That is incredible.
That was Mitch. So Mitch is a PE coach. He actually has one of the more like, and this was the general consensus online, is that Mitch actually has like a genuine like arc of like overcoming something.
Mm-hmm.
He was bullied a lot for his stutter growing up. All I could imagine when he was talking, because a lot of his like introducing himself thing was about the stutter,
Yeah.
was imagine him being in the final three and making his case to the jury with the stutter and winning.
Yeah.
What a, like that
That'd
would be a
huge.
really great
Dude,
season.
he would win automatically.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how it kind of evolves as the game evolves, and the more tired he gets.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think
the
about that.
hungrier he is.
I was
and-
wondering about the pressure too, because sometimes like that performance pressure with people that like struggle with stutters, they will sometimes get a little better if it's high pressure, or they get really, really aggressive. So I'm interested to see kind of how that plays into it too.
What is there to know?
I will say that like he's already a big fan favorite.
Okay.
Like, everything that anyone was saying about him, very positive. A lot of comments from people that know this guy.
Whoa.
A ton of people were like, knew him in college, the sweetest guy ever. Ran into this guy at this concert. He's one of the. So apparently this dude's just everywhere.
Is he
That's
strong?
awesome.
Is he strong?
He's
What's
a
he
PE
like?
coach. So
Okay.
I think he's probably physically fit.
Yep.
He didn't really go into anything like that.
PE
but-
coach, it could go either way. You know?
Yeah, I mean, no, he's not a bigger guy. Like he looks like he's in shape, but I don't know. I don't know if he's running marathons.
Dang.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see him play.
Yeah.
I saw a couple comments that were like, imagine this guy shows up on the island, is the most evil player of all time.
I'd still root for him.
Yeah.
dude.
I love that. All right. Next.
I don't want to be a challenge beast because that'll be a target, but what about a monster? Like, I'm in the closet, I'm under the bed, I'm nasty, you don't want to mess with me, but like, you can't see me all the time.
Yeah, so that was Joe Hunter.
Yeah.
Challenge monster Joe
Yes.
Hunter. Guys, Joe, I'm conflicted. I don't know if he's going to be voted out before the merge or if he's going to win the whole game.
Yeah.
Because well, first of all, he has a really sad story as to why he got into Survivor. So this is from an article. Recently, Hunter and his family helped pass Joanna's Law, which as of January 1st gives families the right to death investigation records of their loved ones if there was a history of domestic violence.
Oh, man.
Wow, no.
The law honors the life of Hunter's sister, Joanna, who died in 2011.
Oh my gosh.
In an interview for Survivor, Hunter said, to get past some of the pain, I had to get off the couch and say, you know what? To honor her, to be Joanna's voice, I'm going to give it a shot.
Wow.
Dang, dude. A lot of players with big kind
Like
of
resiliency.
stories.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of people have a you don't want to be next to them at the end story for this
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
But I noticed that he mentioned in his video that he played for UCLA. And my first thought was, I'm going to see if he has a pro football reference page. I'm going to see if he made it on the field. And he did. He had 3 interceptions in his career at UCLA. And I found a write-up on the UCLA website about one of his seasons. From 1999, he gained valuable experience as a redshirt freshman, appeared in all 11 games, started the first 4 games of the year before becoming a key reserve. He made 2 interceptions, was credited with 6 pass defenses, and had a career-high 5 tackles in his debut against Boise State and 4 against Ohio State. So
Wow.
We've got an athlete here.
Yeah. I wonder
And
how that would look on the
Beast.
sabermetrics, but it
Yeah,
sounds
the
good.
sabermetrics. Good guy, though. That's what it sounds. He sounds like a good guy. Challenge Beast sounds like an understatement with this guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting interceptions in college at a high level, he might just be a challenge monster.
But how is he with puzzles?
We don't know. That we will find out. That's something that annoys me about Survivor a little bit. Everything has to end in a puzzle. I'm kind of sick of it. Jeff, come on. I know you're listening.
Last season had a lot of puzzles.
There were a lot.
There's a whole lot of puzzles. So Joe's pet peeves: rude people, selfish people, mean people, people who tailgate / cut you off while driving.
So all of the above on that one. Huh?
Bad hugs. People who don't make eye contact. Basically anything acting like a butthole.
What qualifies a bad hug? I mean, if I meet the guy, I want to make sure I give him a good hug.
Guys, I don't mean to be a bummer, But I was looking at this article. The article has been updated because Joe Hunter has a disciplinary record. Not always a good guy, it seems.
Wow.
It says that
I saw
he was suspended
PD
from the
turn
fire
pale.
department for grabbing and shaking a recruit.
Whoa!
And he was put on a 10-day suspension for using quote-unquote personal friendships to get the police to leave his house when they responded to a report of gunfire at his home.
Guys. Allegedly, we'll throw
We're
that word in
definitely talking
there.
about the same Joe Hunter.
That's what it's in the Survivor article. They had to include it because I guess people were
no! Wow,
bringing it up.
Well, this was my job and I failed, so I'm just
Dang.
like, hey, he's a great guy. He has interceptions.
Well, we don't know.
And
We don't know the whole story.
We don't know the whole story.
Yeah,
He could
People
be a
make
good dude.
What was that
decisions,
last
you know?
thing? Using personal relationships?
From what I understand, the cops showed up to his house because they heard gunfire.
Right.
And I guess he was friends with the cops, and so he was just like, hey, it's good. You can go.
You know what? I feel like me and Chase are even now.
Yeah.
Because I exposed his lack of history knowledge, and then he exposed me for my lack of research on my contest.
That was a big ad. I have to imagine it was added after
It
you
was.
did your research.
Yeah.
It was. It was very like earlier today.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like I almost shouldn't have brought it up. I feel like it really brought the mood down.
I can't imagine
I
the
think it's
Survivor producers not knowing that, right?
He may have gotten the cops to leave his house and shaken a recruit, but I mean, his sister still did die.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
that
still the
still
reason.
is true.
Yeah. So there is that part of it. It doesn't, I don't think, totally discredit his story if he got a little crazy at work.
Okay, and we're off.
Okay, so Mike Bloom asked him for his most controversial Survivor take. And he goes, like Dee's season, I feel like if you don't have an Austin or a Drew, she probably doesn't win. And then you got Boston Rob, and he's great, blah, blah, blah. And let me just say something, Joe.
Oh, no.
So, Dee won her first attempt.
Oh,
at Survivor.
don't even
Dee
start.
won the first time.
Don't
And
even
if it's like,
start.
I mean, to me, that kind of makes her better. Kind of makes
What?
it better than
New
Boston
era
Rob.
versus old era,
whatever.
dude.
And then Joe's point of the alliance, like if she didn't have her alliance, well, yeah, duh. That's how the game works. She made that alliance to win.
PD is just impartial. Or no,
Yeah.
partial.
He's partial.
Because D won him the Survivor draft that season.
I'm correct here.
Nah.
We'll put this on TikTok. We'll let the fans decide.
We'll let the fans who are notoriously haters of the new era decide.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that PD's actually a bad guy in sabermetrics at this point. So.
Look, guys, D greater than Boston Rob. I said it.
That's
okay. Now you're. Hey, dude, I just checked my sabermetrics, and the red lightsabers are bad guys.
I got to be honest. I hate that you read the thing about sabermetrics because it confused me more than when I was just kind of playing around with it.
Wow.
Yeah, Jonathan, way to ruin it.
I'm sorry that we can't all process information the same. Chase
Jesus.
and Brandon.
All right.
PD, you got what I was saying. Anyway, guys, we can move forward if you'll understand the speed at which we move forward.
Oh,
Finally apply for Survivor. I feel like anyone in PR should get the out here. Like, I make a living persuading people to do things, and you need to be able to genuinely connect with people on a human level. And so many of those skills, translate to being out here, and I know I'm gonna crush it.
Dang, guys, we got Bianca, a proud Jersey girl out here. She's got a good personality for this, I think. There were a lot of things going for her that seemed promising. So, proud Jersey, moves to Virginia. She makes a living persuading people. She has no doubt that she has what it takes, and she's got that strong Jersey aggression, large Italian family, but she refers to Jeff as her Survivor godfather.
Wow.
I thought, dang, that's
strong.
That's putting respect on the name like we like, honestly, guys, straight up, I had no problems here.
Nice.
I thought that she had a good balance in even her longer stuff where it was just having fun, but also you could see a little bit of that strength in there that could really push someone far. So no complaints here for Bianca.
Nice. I think PD's going to really like her because she was asked what her favorite Survivor winner was.
I was going to bring this up.
She said D.
I was.
Wow.
Yeah. I had already planned to say that.
My bad.
I think Bianca. No, I'm glad you brought it up. So
better you than me.
Yeah, because I was right about the thing before, and so we're talking about it
Now
again.
here we are now.
And yeah, so Bianca, she might be better than Bossa Rob.
Oh,
Wow.
Are you crazy?
It's my mission now to upset Chase on this season.
I'm
already
concerned
bullied me
about it.
for being
Bianca's,
dumb.
Bianca's last name is Roses too, and I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but I feel like Roses is
That's
just
a good
good
name. That's a
last
good
name.
name.
That's
Look,
good. There's lots you can do with that.
There's definitely like a roses or red violets or blue
For
joke that's going to be
sure.
showing up at this season.
Has to be. Chase, did you find out any shake any recruits or anything?
She killed a man in Reno.
For what reason?
Just to watch him die.
Oh, no.
That's crazy. Anything else, Jonathan?
No, that's it. There did not seem to be any levels of aggression with this contestant, so we can just move forward.
She seemed lovely.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
One of the cool things culturally about being Persian, and something that we don't see, is we go out of our way for our community. Bringing that into the game is two sides of the same coin. I want people to feel like this guy has my back, but I'm also going to have to stab him in their back. You know what I mean?
Dang.
That is a Shaheen Davari. And this guy sucks.
You don't.
And I don't want anybody. I want everybody to draft him. And not me. He's a 38-year-old debate professor. He was a season 46 alternate. And there are clips upon clips upon clips of season 46 players talking about how happy they were that this bearded guy didn't make it because they thought he could win the whole thing.
Whoa.
Wow. He is the first Persian male to ever play Survivor, which is fun. He, as I said, he's a debate coach, which I think is interesting, and he believes it's going to be one of his secret weapons. Obviously, persuading and the social side of things is such a big part of this, and so I think that could definitely help him in the show. This is what I want to get into. He loves fire making. He loves it. And he says this, quote, "We need to do it more. The fact that it's only once doesn't make any sense. Two people have to compete in fire when everybody should learn how to make fire? Huh? We need it more. You got to earn everything. That's the thing. You got to earn everything."
Heck yeah.
And this is where I like this take. The first juror spot is like, oh, you just get to be the first juror because you were in the group that went second. Nah, man. These two people that got voted out during that double tribal, they sit and they make fire. And then the person who wins gets to sit on the jury. Then they become the mayor of Ponderosa.
That's a great idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. I like how he came in with ideas.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, oh, who, me?
Wait, so Bran is like, I hate this dude. Here's an excellent point he made.
He hates him
just in
because
case-
he's got better ideas. I
Just
think.
in case that it wasn't clear, I hate this guy.
But he's got some good ideas.
And hear what I'm saying. I'm trying to make it seem this guy's amazing. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, you were trying to
I'm
persuade
trying
us
to downplay it.
to not draft him.
Guys, this guy's freaking incredible. This guy's
that
incredible.
makes way more sense. I was concerned because I watched this video as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, why does Bran hate this guy so much?
No.
Like, he seemed so cool.
He's incredible.
Well,
He's incredible.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news again.
No.
No.
Oh, I
Ain't
just
no
read
way.
that. Are you kidding?
Okay, this one doesn't really reflect on him so much, but something about
is
his
it
personal life.
about the person he dated?
Yes.
Okay, I do have that. I do
it.
have
Oh,
that.
okay.
Whoa, okay, we're
Allegedly dated Sherry Papini, the California woman who was sentenced to 18 months in prison for faking her kidnapping in September of 2022. Now, here was the part that I was concerned about because they talk about this, and I was reading about Sherry because I don't remember this story happening, and they talk about how she planned this whole thing out with her boyfriend, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
is he the boyfriend? He's not the
Okay.
boyfriend. And he actually talks about how she's a compulsive liar. And when he found out that she was missing, he immediately knew that it was a lie.
Oh, it's a
Dang.
Gone Girl situation.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
Dang.
But I'll leave you with this. The reason why he's going to win is, quote, "I'm the perfect combo socially savvy, strategically competent without being over the top, athletically underestimated. Resilience is in my blood. In any game I play, my eyes stay on the prize. Stated like a guy who is a debate coach.
Yeah, I think he could win it all just from his confidence.
Yeah.
He's real good.
He's going to have to play it real low key though. He can't be too charming and too good, or these people are going to get him off the island.
That would be my concern. My concern is hearing the folks from 46 talk so highly of him in the short amount of time that they were around him.
He's going to be a threat.
It's like you immediately look at this guy and you're like, this guy's a threat. So he could, because of that, be an early vote. So we'll see how it plays out.
Man,
But,
I mean, we saw how
great
last season was, where tons of threats and strong players were gone early.
Yeah.
So we could end up with a repeat.
That's
That
right.
is very true.
All right, that's all I got. Ready?
I'm going to present as someone that feels like they can just help all these other contestants, and what they don't realize is that I'm the biggest threat of the entire cast. The scariest thing of the whole thing, it's not the starving, it's not the sleeping on the beach, it's like I have to sit here and be myself.
Guys, I want to introduce you the winner of this season, Thomas Crottinger.
Whoa.
This guy, this is the second I knew he was going to win this season. He's got one of those jobs that as much as he explains what he does, you get more confused about what his job is.
Yeah.
I don't think his job's a real job. Let me break this down. So he is a music executive.
That's already cloudy. It's already cloudy.
So he is the guy. So again, every time he's talked about it, he says something different. He is, at one point, claimed to be the person who signed Olivia Rodrigo to Sony Records.
Okay.
For sure,
But she did comment, though.
Who Olivia Rodrigo did comment on his Instagram post when he made it on the island, and it is fact checked that he did sign Olivia Rodrigo in some capacity, because then someone else, at one point on one of his profiles or whatever, it said he was the vice president of marketing for Sony. But then in his long interview that he did with Rob Has a Podcast, he says that he doesn't work for Sony. He works for a publishing company.
Okay.
Which every time he explains his job, I get more confusing. Like he was like, so you know when you're listening to a record,
yes,
there is the publishing of the record,
right?
Yep.
But then there is the producing of the record, right? And then he's like, I'm a part of the team that helps get artists found by the publishing or something like. I don't know. It's very confusing.
Chase, I'll explain it to you because I do get it.
That's okay.
I'm not saying now. I'm not doing another sabermetrics dialogue for you.
So every person I've ever met that has one of those jobs that just doesn't seem to make sense no matter how it's explained, they're successful in life. And I think that he could win this season. He's extremely charismatic. He's he comes across very kind, but he also has that little like crisp of I don't think he would be afraid to cut down anyone in his way.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be the kind of guy that's super charismatic, friends with everyone, but also backstabs everyone.
There's a portion, Chase, without diving into the details of what this role would probably do.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you that it has a salesman personality need with this type of job. And you also have to be pretty cutthroat because you're going up against other publishers and you're trying to sell yourself to these artists. So there's a real chance this guy could be a very persuasive and good player. If that's what he's doing.
I think so. I will say someone on Reddit said that he looks like if H&M was a real person.
Wow.
And they nailed it.
Wow. Can't wait for that.
Wow.
Does he have his driver's license?
I was like, probably.
Yeah. I would assume.
Yeah.
Is he a vampire?
Yeah, good for you. All right, I think we did it. I think we did all the Olivia songs. Is that?
Yeah. All the ones I know. Yeah.
That gave me deja vu.
Oh,
man, that was a brutal pun.
Oh,
man, one step forward, two steps.
Okay. We're gonna go back and forth. That song with Billy Joel in it. We did it.
Yeah. Guys, I'm an Olivia stan. I could do this for probably 5 more minutes. I'm just kidding. Not really. She only has 2 albums up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you could get into the High School Musical to musical stuff too.
Yeah, unfortunately, never seen it.
I love that show. I said it.
It's
did you,
meta.
Did you,
you know?
talk about that on your DCOM podcast?
We did not. We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we're going to talk about High School Musical, obviously.
Oh, of course. You got to.
We're close. I think we're in
But you
04.
haven't talked about High School Musical, the series yet.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Jonathan, keep up.
Okay.
Hey, guys, we're on this network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
now.
We'll see.
We'll see how it
We have a
goes.
6 month. We have
Yeah.
a 6 month.
Well, we have 3 more contestants to get to, but guys, we are on a podcast network now. It's true.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
real
That's
thing.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Are we moving on?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. We got 3 more.
Kind of always been like an adrenaline junkie, I guess. Worked as a whitewater rafting instructor for like 6 summers in Colorado. Currently a stunt performer. Got my commercial pilot's license. I love doing things that challenge me, and I have a lot of hobbies, I guess, that kind of indicate that. So living under pressure has just been part and parcel of my life. So no matter what challenges come my way, like I'm always going to be able to remain calm and composed, and I think it's going to bode very well for Survivor.
Interesting.
All right, that was David Kine. David, let's talk about David. He's looking real jacked, baby. I'm talking real jacked. He is
Shucky,
just,
ducky, quack,
quack. Glistening. He could rip his shirt off like Hulk Hogan. His biceps are huge. And we
He
know.
was the guy that Kevin was talking about as being the really big guy?
Yeah, I think he would have to be because, we know from the preview that those muscles come from chocolate milk.
Yeah, chocolate milk Captain America, baby.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about here. Chocolate milk, Captain America. And he mentioned being a stuntman and a pilot in that interview. So here's some of his parade interview. They asked him, where did this desire to become a pilot come in? And he said, I love doing stunts. But again, at 30 years old, the wear and tear on my body started to hit pretty hard. No pun intended.
Yeah. There it is.
And so I wanted a career that I guess would provide the stability that I lacked doing stunts. And that's why I decided to become a pilot. Really what happened is I had gotten my sports pilot certificate as a hobby. I'm a man of many hobbies. And literally, I was at a wedding. One of my good friends was getting married, and he had just gotten his pilot license. And he turned to me, and he said, hey, you want to fly? I've got nobody to fly with. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. That was literally my reaction. The next day, I signed up for a pilot's license. And then eventually, after I got my sports pilot certificate, I realized, you know what? This can probably be a pretty good career. Might as well do this.
Does he pilot people?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I got to be honest. I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want my pilot. This is now a new fear of mine.
Yeah.
If you're a pilot and you have a past in stunts, I'm not interested. Like you should have to tell us that beforehand. That's crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, back in the back, I just want to let everybody know I did work on the movie John Wick in 2016. Please keep your seatbelts on. We're about to take off. If we crash, I'll be okay.
I know how to tuck and roll.
So David Kind, who, like I said, looking real jacked, but he was asked by Mike Bloom what his most controversial hot take was. Didn't have anything to do with D this time. He said something I really agreed with. He said, I would love some of those one-on-one brutal challenges back, man. And
Yeah.
I 100%. I loved those. People trying to knock each other off a platform. It was really good.
Mainly that one,
TV.
huh, PD? That's what
that's the first one that comes to
Yep.
mind.
Like American Gladiator
Mud
style?
wrestling. That they used to do some of that.
Nice.
Sounds like he misses the glory days. He's like, I just need
I'm
to
with
take a
him.
time.
I'm watching Australia right now, and they did a little of that in one of the challenges, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun. This is fun."
There gets to be an era in Survivor where the challenges get dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Dude! I for people that don't know, I'm pretty new to Survivor. I've only seen a few seasons. Started a couple years ago, and so I'm making my way through the series right now. But the leap from like just the challenges from season 1 to season 2 is insane. Like it is so much more thought out. And it's like, oh wow, that's what happens when you
bigger budget.
When you
Get a
money.
budget.
Yeah.
You can actually plan through challenges and stuff.
Speaking of you talking about being kind of new to Survivor, that's kind of my favorite thing about David. In his interview, he's never watched the show.
Whoa, what?
Whoa.
Yeah. In fact, when he had his one-on-one interview with Jeff Probst, the producer was like, all right, you're about to be one-on-one with Jeff? And he goes, Jeff who?
No, he did not.
And he still made it through casting.
And then he typed in Jeff Probst into Google and said, oh, it's the host.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe Jeff cast him like hard to get,
No, dude, what makes me so excited about this is it's been so long since we've had players on the island that haven't watched the show
Yep.
and aren't super fans, and they are what makes the season so great because they don't know about all of the strategy on strategy on strategy. They're gonna walk around and be like, "All right, someone might have an idol, so we should vote them out."
Yeah. Jeff said he wasn't going to cast people who didn't know the show anymore because of that strategy on strategy thing. He's like, whoever doesn't know would be so behind. But I guess once he was
Interesting.
confronted with somebody who's like, hey, I just Googled you.
He was like, you know what? I respect it.
Yeah, I respect it. You're
So,
in.
David still, when he's being interviewed by Mike Bloom on the beach, still hadn't seen the show.
This was in his parade.com interview. What's
That's
your
crazy.
history with watching the show? Not going to lie, not a whole lot.
Wow.
I have to imagine he watched a little bit.
Yeah,
before.
like a little.
He said, okay, he watched the first few seasons with his family when he was young, and then admittedly never watched it again until after I applied.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been an agent thing of like, hey, let's get you some more work. Here's this show, Survivor.
Kind of a big
That
deal.
would be a thing. Wow.
Dang, dude. All right.
That's interesting. All right. He's interesting.
He's
Dark
real
horse.
jacked, baby.
Dark horse.
He is jacked.
He was.
jacked.
Yeah.
He's jacked. All right, 2 more. Here we go.
They definitely had an expectation of me, like the typical quiet, obedient South Asian girl. And unfortunately, they had me instead. I was intentionally annoying, and that still hasn't really changed for me. I want to show them, you raised a very strong woman. I want them to see that and be like proud of like the daughter that they made.
Guys, this is Camilla. Camilla K is what I'm going to call her. And, this was an interesting interview for me to watch because I went very back and forth on how I felt like she would do. But here's what we do know right out of the gate is that she does not have a single ab. That was one thing that she made sure to say. She has not had an ab before.
Say it one more time.
She has not had a single ab.
So she means like visibly.
Like,
Yeah.
she's saying I
never been
don't have an
shredded
ab.
enough to-
Yeah.
Usually,
Like we
either they
have.
all show up or none of them do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, guys, again, I'm directly quoting what she said. I didn't just make that sentence up then. She does not have a single ab.
I wonder how would you train an individual ab and not the others.
Tiny little sit-ups, But
Yeah.
here's the thing. She's also a software engineer. We got a lot of computer nerds on this thing, and we're going to see what happens here. But she's very funny, but she hates not feeling listened to. This was a big thing. She hates not feeling like people are listening to her, and that might be a problem playing Survivor because
Especially early on.
yeah, you're having to kind of stick your neck out there and hope that people are paying attention to you. It may bother her a lot. And if she ends up on the bottom, she may end up with like a Banu style collapse where it's like, what's happening to me? So she says she doesn't need her ego fed. She's like, I don't need that. I'm fine on my own. But she also said she is intentionally annoying to people.
Okay, that'll be great.
That seems like a terrible way to play the game. She also said in her interview, she is looking to find a Giga Chad on this season.
Did she really?
Yeah, she says she wants a Giga Chad, and then she says she's going to ditch him right after the season's
So
over.
David.
Yeah. Look,
Chocolate Milk Boy.
Yeah, Chocolate Milk Boy already got a target on his back, but in a way he was not expecting.
The David and Camilla alliance.
Yeah, that's
the DK, the Donkey Kong alliance.
And she also mentions, though, that she's a big fan of bringing her Nintendo Switch with her places and playing things like Stardew Valley and open world survival games. And now she feels like this is a an open world game that she's in. She seems nice, but maybe intentionally annoying.
The line I don't like is the thing about not liking when people don't listen to her.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel like she's going to try to like be a leader early on, even though she probably shouldn't, just because she wants people to listen to her, and then she's just going to fumble it. And
Right. Here's what I'm gonna give you guys a heads up right now. I'm gonna be gunning to draft her.
Oh.
Everything I've seen about her, it seems like she's so full of like a childlike whimsy. And it really seems like her sole intention is to go onto this show and cause chaos. She's talked about how her favorite player is Tony. So if you know who that is, you know his kind of game style. But she just talked about she just wants to cause chaos. And I think that's something we haven't seen in a while.
I think that's a very interesting perspective. Even in watching her interview, I was thinking I'm not opposed to her being on my team. I just want to see how this intentionally annoying aspect goes for the first 2 episodes.
And I know we're running long. I don't want to get too much into my strategy here, but I mean, think about the last few seasons. The annoying players make it really, really far.
This is true, but are they intentionally annoying?
I would say Andy was not intentionally anything.
Sue was intentionally young, though.
We got to come after a team. What? It's only Team PD's players getting roasted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You handed us when you started drafting them. You handed the keys over to the house for us to walk right in. So
D is the greatest player of all time.
Oh God.
All right, one more. Here we
One
go.
more.
The school that I went to was an affluent white community. The community that I grew up in was a black urban community. I work with some of the richest individuals in the world, but I've also lived with certain individuals who don't have a dollar to their name. I feel like it's made me better every time I've been around a new group of people and I learned something new. That's why I think I'm going to be good at Survivor. If I can bring that story to the game and explain to people why it's important to seek out other people who are different than you, then I think I'd be pretty pumped up about that.
That's Kyle Frazier. He's 31. He's an attorney. He's the guy who I was talking to about earlier who's going to lie about his occupation.
Yeah,
he's going to say
move.
that he's a teacher. He was a teacher in his defense. He used to teach GED courses at a juvenile detention center before becoming an attorney. So he's just not going to give them his current occupation. It's going to be one that he had. I was, but he's going to say that he is. But regardless,
seems like a long way to say that he's going to lie about
Kyle,
his
whatever
job.
helps you sleep, buddy. Whatever helps you sleep, Kyle. He says that he is an impulsive person, which he thinks may work against him.
It's good to think of it that way because at least then you're aware, right,
Yes.
of a potential pitfall for yourself. I think that's one thing that kind of concerns me with a lot of the players is there's not a lot of them talking about things they think they'll be bad at. And I think that a good player is pretty aware of, I'm not good at this. You know?
Yeah, he gets a little bit more into details as to what he means. He says, I'm good at keeping a secret. I'm a lawyer. Obviously, there's stuff that I have to keep. And I'm not just going to blurt stuff out. When he talks about being impulsive, he says, with challenges, when he's really excited and he's in the moment, he kind of is a little bit more impulsive. So even if he's at a challenge and he's like, I can't dive, if the opportunity presents itself to dive, he's going to dive. And he may belly flop, but he's going to do it. So that's what he means when he says impulsive. So we'll see how that plays out in the show. He wants to play the game as a, quote, people first type game. And he wants other players to think that he's genuine. Whether or not he is, I don't know, but he wants him to think that he is. And he says, quote, if I win, I think it has to be a dominant game. I run the sort of scenarios in my head. I don't know how I can hide in a lot of ways. I have to come out and I have to play hard.
Oh.
He's got winner energy to
He
me.
does. He really does.
That's winner energy that doesn't work, in my opinion.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of people. I don't think there's been a single person that we've talked about today that I'm like, they're a weak player.
Yeah, it's a really strong. And I think the thing that's most interesting to me about this cast, if you will, is the ages that we have. We have a really nice, wide range of ages. And I think that's going to make for some interesting gameplay.
I mean, here's what I want. Is it too much to ask that Debbie comes back just to see what happens? Maybe Philip, if he's not still
I want
butthurt
Liz and
about
Philip
this.
on the same tribe.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan, is Kristen still there?
No, but she's
been
with
on
me
about
in
45
spirit
minutes.
because we're
Yeah.
a team. We're one single unit.
Because I wanted to bring something up before we left, but it is crucial that Kristen be there. So
Wow.
do I need to save it for next week? This bit.
Will
she be here?
how about you ask me the question and I tell you whether or not that it's.
Oh no,
what you
I
don't think
wanted to bring up the board game thing.
Oh yeah. Let's just roast his punk ass right now.
Yeah, wait a second. Look, guys, y'all are roasting me preemptively because I bought the Survivor board game.
It wasn't the fact that you bought the board game.
Yeah, it was the circumstances, or the things that we found out from Kristen. I'll pull up the text.
What happened?
You act like it's a deep, dark secret.
Did he murder somebody to get this game?
No,
Oh,
no.
So while PD pulls up the text, so this is what happened. Jonathan sends us a edited video.
I did. I had a good time.
Edited social media video of him going to the store, purchasing the Survivor board game.
These are the things I do.
It dropped.
Yeah.
He sends the video, and then this is what happens.
Well, also, that video never got posted anywhere, so it was like
just for
us.
I honestly, I truthfully sent it to just y'all, and then I was like, I don't think I'm going to post it, but man, it was kind of fun to put it together. It took me 5 minutes. What do you?
Okay.
I do it for a living now, Chase. You get it.
So Jonathan sends us the video, and all he says is, "Sorry, Kristen," and then Kristen says below it in all caps, "Are you kidding? Literally last night we discussed no more buying games." The previous night, it was like 12 hours later, Jonathan goes to Target.
I was crying laughing because they had that meant that they had a conversation in their home.
Yeah.
Jonathan, we got to slow down buying board games. And not 24 hours later, he goes and buys a new game, edits a video of him buying it, and sends it to her.
Yeah, a group chat with his wife in it. Hey, Jonathan, before you talk, there's another Kristen message where Kristen said Jonathan has so many that are stored in random spaces and closets throughout the house.
Yeah. Look,
So it's
not
an epidemic.
throughout the house.
It's a problem.
So then Jonathan sends us a picture of like his board game collection, and I'm like, dude, who are you playing these board games with?
Yeah. I used to play them with people before we had a child. That's the truth of it. But it's here's the thing, guys. I do love a good board game. I really do.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of board games, and I have played all of those board games. But
with human people,
but there
Can you just really quickly take us through the thought process of it's nighttime, my wife says no more board games, you wake up next day, you say I'm going to Target. Did you go to Target? Where'd you go?
I went to Target. I'm going to walk you through
went
the
in
exact
person?
I'm going to tell you the exact
the aisles?
thought process of this. You ready?
I'm
So
crying.
Kristen, we're cleaning, right? And I'm like, I got a lot of board games I'm just going to donate, right? Like there's local youth groups, they'll enjoy these. And I've had my fun, right? I donate, I'm going to guess 10 board games, right? They're out of the house. They're out of here. So the next day I wake up and it's like Survivor game dropped and the mental gymnastics I cleanly went through and scored a perfect 10. We're like, I just got rid of 10 games. Which sounds like I just got rid of 9 games, actually. And then I got in my car. I drove to Target. I filmed myself, walked in Target, walked straight to the section, took it off the shelf, went to self-checkout, rung it up with nothing else, walked out to the car and unboxed it and sent the video. And I thought, I'm going to send it to the group because Kristen can only say so much.
Yeah. With captions.
With captions. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the captions.
Me, man.
Yeah.
Is you produced a video.
Yeah,
of you buying
when I go for it, I go for it.
And then what kills me is like Kristen's at work.
Yeah.
She works a full-time job
Yeah,
while
totally.
Jonathan's just at home like, I think I'm going to go to Target.
yeah. Look, guys.
Left the baby behind.
I actually left the baby at Target. I was like, could y'all hold on to this while I get this board game real quick? So, look, guys, the thing is that I do love board games, and I'm not going to apologize for it.
Whatever, man.
And
But do you like your wife more? Or
I like my wife so much, and my wife likes me so much that I know she's not going to leave me for buying a Survivor board game. You know,
I mean, she likes you enough to shield you from drafting alone again.
Yeah.
Oh, guys,
How long have you been married, Jonathan?
I've been married. It'll be 7 years.
Yeah, ain't bad.
Wow.
Not
Right, so
bad,
you
not bad.
You do know better.
Oh, yeah. Believe me,
Right on.
I knew exactly what I was doing, guys.
Dude, I cannot stress you enough. I think I texted PD 2 hours afterwards. I'm still laughing.
Yeah.
Jonathan, like, I thought I was a ridiculous person, and then I started doing a podcast with Jonathan.
Yeah.
And so Kristen, another text from Kristen. Actually, we're getting a piano today, so we had to move a bunch of furniture
True.
around, which is why we were talking about the game storage capacity, which normally that's a hard drive. But for you,
it's a cabinet.
Can we also talk about the fact that I moved an entire 88-key wooden piano into this house, and she made me get rid of 10 board games saying we didn't have the space, and I was like, Kristen, I don't feel like that's even, but
you're the musician.
I love it. I'm playing the piano more than she does. It's a win-win.
I brought in all the guitars and all the pedals.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I see it as an absolute win-win for everybody, and that's why Kristen and I are on the same team. Is because she can only be so mad at me, right?
What a podcast! Guys.
What a great time, guys.
We recapped all the contestants. We got into it. Maybe last thing, if out of all the contestants we covered, who would your winner pick be? I'm gonna give it to Mary just for fun.
Okay,
dang.
I'm gonna go Camilla.
I mean, definitely not Shaheen, and I want it on the record. He's definitely not winning. No one should take him.
I really think that Bianca could go really far, guys.
There you go.
All right.
I'm not going to pull up.
I want the dude that's had problems with the law.
Yeah. He needs a win.
I think that does it.
Oh, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I guess we'll be back. Thanks for listening.